Hello, lovely. I'm Nicola. It's nice to meet you. And you are? Just checking I've got the right person. So I am one of the personal trainers and nutritionists here at the health centre. And I've got you booked in for a membership appointment, including a bit about personal training and nutrition, and just basically getting a portfolio of yourself and what it is you want to achieve, etc. Alright, does that sound okay? Yeah. I will also be taking some measurements from you and showing you some different supplements, etc. Alright, because I've got you in for the full works, is that right? Okay, I'm just checking. So let me just get my forms and my pen. Okay, can I have your date of birth? And that makes you... Thank you. So, you've not been here before. Have you been a member at any other gym, health club or anything like that? Okay, so many years ago. Okay, that's fine. And is this the start of your fitness weight loss journey? Okay. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to be looking at that. So when people are booked in with myself, I like to get a picture of what it is you are wanting to achieve. All right, I think that's very important for me to ask that first. Okay, so obviously you're here on a journey. What is the journey for you? Is it weight loss, fitness, healthy lifestyle, or all of them? Okay, so all of them. Okay. What's prompted you to take the plunge? Yeah. Okay, and what are the blood showing exactly? Yep. Yep. Okay. So we've got some areas that are high, so your inflammation markers and your high cholesterol levels and the different sections, yeah. Okay, and you're borderline in diabetes, and some other things are a bit elevated but nothing to worry about, is that right? Okay, just checking I've got everything correctly. Okay. Alright, that's fine. So that's kind of prompted you. Yeah, so you're feeling fatigue, lethargic. Yeah, just a bit, wanting to get into some smaller clothing and tone up a little bit. Yeah, and just, improve your heart health, and yeah, that makes perfect sense. Okay. So obviously if we improve your fitness level, that's really going to help your heart and your arteries and different things like that, and it will help lower your cholesterol, and it will also help obviously reduce the effects of potential diabetes and things like that. Okay. The other inflammation marker, I'm not too sure what that would be. It's usually if you've got some inflammation in your body or an infection or something like that, but that's something you will need to discuss with your own doctor. Okay. I am obviously a trained dietitian and nutritionist, and I am also trained in physio, sports massage, and obviously personal training as well. All right, so I'm here at the health club to do all sorts of things and work with clients that really want to help improve their life. Okay, yeah. So does that sound like something that you are wanting to do? Okay, good. So I'm not going to be one of these that tells you you've got to do this, you need to do that, okay, because I feel like you're aware of that already, okay. I'm just here to help you maximise your potential and help you get to where you want to be. All right, so if you wouldn't mind telling me your height. Okay. Do you know how much you weigh? So okay, and when did you check that? Okay, well, if I can get you to please pop on the scales for me. They're just there, and if you can take your shoes and socks off and stand nice and still for me. Let me just check it's come through. Yeah, you can pop back off and sit back down. Thank you. Now, when you do join us, you will get access to an app, okay? So I can see how much you weigh there. And I'm just having a look at your data, okay? I try not to focus too much on BMI, so I just kind of ignore that really. Body fat is on the high side. Muscle rate is quite average. And subcutaneous fat is quite high. Visceral fat is high. Body water is very low. Skeletal muscle is very low. Muscle mass, you know, not too bad. Bone mass, average. Protein low. And your body age is coming up to about 5 years older than you are. Roughly 5, 6. Yeah, okay. And it's stating here that your calories roughly should be so much, and it states here that you're not quite getting enough of what you should be getting, but it's getting the right foods. So we've got quite a lot of areas to work on really, but as soon as you start obviously improving things, then obviously they are gradually going to go down. All right, but by looking at this, you really need to start increasing your water intake. Okay, do you have any at all? How much in a day? Okay, so you're having what flavour? Okay. And then do you have it quite strong or? Okay, that's fine. And what else do you drink? Okay, when you say Coke, full fat or diet or zero? Okay, well that's good. That's a start. Yeah, because that can be quite a hard one. Yeah. Okay. And okay, how many of those do you have a day? Okay, so that's quite a lot. And what about the tea, did you say? How many? Okay, so that's not too bad. What about any coffees? Okay. Any hot chocolates or anything like that? Okay. So, I mean, the squash side of things is not too bad, especially if you're having it quite diluted. All right, that's not too bad. The 1 tea a day is perfectly fine, and as you stated, you're not really having, you know, any coffee or anything like that. But the Coke is probably a little bit on the high side. However, there's no calories, no sugar, and things like that, so you're perfectly fine. Really, it's just obviously you're having a lot of caffeine. Okay, and obviously caffeine can make us lethargic and things like that. All right, so how many sugars in your tea, and what kind of milk do you have? Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, 1 sugar is good, and full fat milk, it's probably not the best for someone to be watching what they eat, etc. But if you make changes elsewhere, then you don't really need to worry about that so much. All right, good. So I'm happy with your drink. However, you do need to start bringing in some more water. And from these results here, I can definitely see that you're, not having enough. All right. That will be saved on your profile. Okay, good. Excellent. Right. Roughly, can you just tell me a little bit about your diet? Try to be 100% honest with me, okay? Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed or bad or anything like that, okay? I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to help you. All right, so don't feel like, I can't tell you that because you're going to judge me, or I feel bad. Honestly, no. I've seen all sorts. All right. Okay, so just be honest with me as much as possible. Okay, my love. All right. So, what kind of things do you eat for breakfast? Okay, and which brand and what? Yeah. Okay, so that's quite good. Yeah, okay. Do you have anything in between breakfast and lunch? Okay. So obviously things are going to vary day to day, week to week. Our moods, our hormones, all sorts of different things like that. It's never going to be exactly the same. But if I can just get a really good insight into what you're kind of consuming day to day, that would be really helpful for me. All right, I know you're not necessarily going to know how much you're having or how many calories and things like that. I'm guessing you've not been counting. No. But it gives me an idea of the kind of things that you are having. What do you normally have for lunch? Okay, so you often miss lunch out. Okay, and then you have... Okay, so you're having a chocolate bar instead. Okay, and what chocolate bar? Yeah, so obviously the caramel is going to be a lot more sugar in that than rather just having a plain Whisper. Okay. All right. And there's things like Kit Kats, which are a lot less calories and things like that. Okay. It would be better if we could get you from a Whisper Gold down to a Whisper, because that's just chocolate. It's lower in sugar. Okay, but then if you really need some chocolate, because obviously cravings are such a hard thing to get rid of, if you know what I mean. They can be always there niggling, and then you kind of give up, and then you feel guilty, and then you feel like you're a failure, and then you want to try again. It's just a vicious circle. Yes, we don't want to do any punishing. Okay, no punishing at all. That's one thing that I like to stress to my clients, that we don't punish anybody. All right, we all have good days, we all have bad days. All right, okay. So, I mean, you could have a really good day. You could have, say, breakfast cereal. You could have nothing. Lunchtime, you could actually have... What do you normally have if you don't have the chocolate bar? Okay. And is that in the packet? Yeah, I mean, that's a substantial amount, but it's not the best thing because it's got milk, butter, and it's a lot of carbs. Yeah, but, it's got to weigh the options up, haven't you? It's probably better, more nutritious to have that than the chocolate bar. Okay. So that would vary between that and, did you say, was it noodles or something? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so that's fine. Sometimes, you know, sandwiches and things, that's perfectly fine, don't worry about that. But what bread do you use? Okay, that's fine. Obviously, if we could get down to wholemeal, that would be great. Or 50-50 is, you know, better. But if you're not having a lot of bread anyway, that's not too bad. Okay. Right, and can you tell me your evening meal? Okay, so roughly over the week, what kind of things do you consume? Mm-hmm. Yep. What would you normally have at the chippy? Right, okay. So maybe if you still want your takeaway once a week, some people will go in and say, no takeaways, no this, that and the other. If you see you're having fish chips and a sausage, maybe cut out the sausage and just have the fish and chips, and maybe have a smaller portion of chips or something like that. Okay. Obviously, if you didn't have that at all, that'd be great. But if you're only having one takeaway a week, I mean, that's pretty good. I know people are having them all the time, multiple times a day, in fact. So if you don't have a chippy, what else do you have? And what do you have from there? Okay, I like that. Put them all out in the middle and scoop a little bit on of each. That's great. I mean, if you're having so much, it's not too bad, you know. And what kind of portion you're having on the plate? Okay. Right. So that's not a lot then, really, is it? That's good. Okay, so coming away from the takeaways, if you can just tell me some other things that you tend to have in a week. It's good that you're adding in salad and veg. I think that's a really good start. Okay, and obviously if you're having like oven chips and your potatoes, you're consuming a lot of carbs. Yeah, and carbs are not as good because that's what, you know, it gives us energy, and there's good carbs and bad carbs, and then some carbs just hold on to the fat and you just, yeah. So overall, it sounds like, you know, it's great. You're making things from scratch, which I think that's perfect. That's really good. I like that. You've got a variety. Yeah. Something like the chicken and things like that. It's got the protein in, so that's good. Just show me what you typically have on a plate. So if you just draw out how much, say, of the salad would you have? Okay, what about the meat? Okay, and the potatoes or the chips? Okay, thank you. Again, it depends. Now, do you always finish your food? Or... Okay, so you get quite full. And you don't, okay. All right. And you're pigging out at night. Okay, so what times do you start pigging out? Okay. And then what time do you go to bed? Yeah, so a lot of my clients have a problem on snacking at night. Okay. So they sit down and get cozy and have a hot chocolate, or, you know, have some chocolate, some sweets and different things like that. And they're just there watching the TV or a movie and a bit of popcorn, this, that and the other. And then it gets every night. And then you're going to bed and all that's sitting on your tongue. Yeah. And you're not doing anything, so it's just storing as fat, basically. Yeah. No, it's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about at all. I mean, a lot of people tell me that, and honestly, it's nothing to feel bad about. Okay, because we all like to snack. We all like a bit of junk. Do you know what I mean? It's just in kind of moderation and eating it at the correct times. Yeah, and not too much of it. So when you say you like to pig out, what do you typically have? Okay, so what kind of sweets? I have to do like Haribo. Have to have moderation though. Okay, and else? And what flavour? Okay. Okay, and would you just have a bar of chocolate? Would you have a slab, or does it? Okay. Okay. And what kind of cream cake would you usually go for? Okay. Okay, so you seem to crave a lot of sugar. Yeah, and too much sugar can make you feel lethargic and fatigue as well. So, are you having all those every night, or does it vary? Okay, so it varies, that's fine. So, you seem to like a lot of sweets, donuts, cookies, chocolate, cake, fresh cream cakes and things like that. Alright, is there any particular days that are worse for you? Okay, any particular reason why you think that weekends are worse? Okay, do you think it's maybe psychological that you think, you know, it's a weekend and yeah. So in the day you might snack on donuts, cookies and chocolate here and there, and then at night you'd probably sit down again with some sweets, maybe chocolate or something else. Okay, well I can see straight away where your problems are. Okay, so I don't necessarily think it's what you're actually eating day to day. All right, like you cook fresh, you've got a good variety there, and you know your portions from what you've said to me seem okay. All right, my advice would be probably to, when you have your evening meal, try to have enough balanced plate and have as much as possible, but don't overeat, and still watch how much you're eating. But if you try to eat enough so you're full, and then you're not going to want to eat later on. Yeah, okay. Because if you're not finishing your dinner as you suggested, after time you're going to feel peckish, and then you're going to want to eat, and then you sit down and put Netflix on and start eating sweets. Okay, and I know it's awful because it's nice to sit there and the cravings are so hard to keep under control and things like that. Yeah, and a lot of it is willpower. You know, it's in the mind. You've got to break that habit, if you like, and sometimes that's like the hardest thing for you to actually do, is that side of it, not necessarily what you're eating or drinking. Obviously if you're drinking full fat Coke or Sprite or Fanta or whatever, that would be a little bit different, especially full fat Coke. Avoid that, the sugar content is ridiculous, you know, so you've got to just be a bit more mindful, if you like. Yeah, okay. So it's definitely it seems to be the junk, but the time you're eating it as well. All right, so if you think about it, in the day you've had a chocolate bar for lunch, you're missing out on nutrients. You might feel like it fills you up, actually you're not, and then you're not getting enough of the right calories, so you're not getting your nutrients, and then you're going to be low and lacking stuff. Okay, good. And you're eating at the wrong times. So if you're going to have, say, a chocolate bar at lunch, and then at night you're going to have a slab of chocolate or a chocolate bar, and then some sweets, and I'm guessing you eat the full bag. Okay. And the full slab. Okay, and okay, so you don't share any of those. And you mentioned biscuits. What biscuits? Okay, so yeah, so they're going to be quite bad for you. And how many do you tend to eat when you start? Okay, so that's quite a lot. It's going to sound a silly question, but what is your kind of relationship with food? I know that sounds very a stupid question, but do you like food? Do you enjoy eating food? Do you do it because you have to, or yeah? Okay. Do you feel you may be a bit of a binge eater at times, or yeah, kind of the junk? All right. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, and it is just as relevant as all the other EDs. All right, and it is very common, and a lot of the time it's because how we feel emotionally and we comfort eating. Sometimes we just enjoy it, other times we just crave it, sometimes it's all of it. All right. Yeah, that's right. And again, it's nothing to be ashamed about. I like the fact that you're sitting here with me today and actually being really honest with yourself and myself. All right. That's a big step. Yeah. All right. So, how have you been feeling, like mood-wise, just generally? Okay. Right. So, do you have any mental health issues? Yep. Yep. Okay. So they are lifelong conditions. All right. And are you on any medication? Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. How long have you been on all those? Okay, so that's quite a long time. Do you feel that you're quite stable at the moment? Okay. I know those conditions are very, volatile kind of thing. They change, and the depression can kick in at any point, or nightmares, flashbacks and things like that. And then obviously with the other issue, I know sometimes you're going to go through an episode, other times you're not. So I can understand how, that's going to affect you. But as you sit here with me today, you are feeling all right. Well, you do look absolutely fine. But I just have to check, because just because people look fine doesn't mean they are on the inside. Okay. But at any time, if you do feel that you would like to talk to somebody regarding mental health, I mean, I have quite a lot of knowledge working with different people and things like that, but I do have a lovely lady who can actually sit down with you and have a chat with you. She can even give you a bit of CBT on, changing your mind on how to eat and different things like that. All right. And she can help you, if you feel like you need to talk to somebody about anything or how you're feeling, then I can put you in touch with her. All right. Okay, so that would be okay. Okay, so I'll just drop that as possibly if you need it. Okay, that's fine. Are you taking any other medication? Okay, that's fine. So just those. Perfect. And when you started these, I mean, these can put on weight, but do you feel like they have, or? Okay, so definitely not. Okay, that's fine then. So at least we know it's not your medication. As you are bordering on certain things, that could be hindering your weight. All right. Yeah, but I just want to take a moment just to say that I'm more about having a healthy lifestyle. All right. I don't really like to focus too much on weight, if I'm really honest with you. Some people do. I don't, because I feel like it is a personal journey. Every person is different. You all have your own reasons why you decide to go on this journey. All right. Some people it's purely weight loss. Other people it's just fitness. Other people, they just want to change their lifestyle a little bit or have some advice. Some people come for everything, such as yourself. But naturally, if you start exercising and eating better, you're naturally going to lose weight anyway. So I don't really like to focus on that. don't really like to be doing weigh-ins and things like that. But a part of my program, I obviously will be weighing you once a month. Okay, now the reason why I don't like to do that weekly or anything like that, or focus too much on it, because people look at the scales and they see that they haven't lost anything, or they've lost a small amount. Then they get sad. Then they feel a failure, or they feel like all that effort they've put in has been for nothing. All right, exactly. Then people feel like giving up, or just think, stuff it, I'll have a load of cake and overly binge, and then they just go back to square one. So I don't like my clients doing that. Once a month I think it's good to check weight and look at my software and see what other things are, if we've had any changes. All right, yeah. But don't we focus on that, because you may not see a difference in the scales, but you might see a difference in your stamina. How long you can do things. You might feel less breathless, less heart palpitations, and different things like that. You might feel that other things are affected, but in a better way. Okay, yes, exactly. And you may even be losing more inches from places rather than the weight. And if you are exercising, you are going to put muscle on. Yeah, so then obviously that weighs heavier. Exactly. So you're happy for me to weigh you once a month and do your checks? Okay, so once a month, weight and checks. Okay. So that would be basically a month from today, so on. Okay, and then I'd be also doing measurements as well once a month. And that's the measurements I'll take today. I will just take again, and we'll see if we've made any changes. All right. You'll notice your own stamina and things like that, because you'll be able to do more of something. You'll be able to do more reps. You'll be able to go a little bit longer, and different things like that. And that is definitely improving your health. All right. Yeah, so I really want you to work on your health. With what you've said to me about your bloods, it is quite concerning. All right. Yes, that's what the doctor said. Exactly. And it's not a nice thing to hear when somebody says you need to sort yourself out, lose weight, get fitter and things like that. It's not really something that you want to hear. Yeah. So I feel like we need to make it a bit more positive. Try to have a bit more positive thinking, a bit more, try to get some motivation, and just think, just try to have that willpower. Yeah. And it's easier said than done, but in time you will get used to it. And it's never always going to be this way where you can't treat yourself to something or something like that. Just try not to get back into the same swing of it. Yeah. But I'm going to stop you there a moment. Do you smoke at all or vape? Do you drink alcohol? So that's really good. Okay, that's fine. Do you have any allergies? Okay. Do you have any other health issues? Okay. So, do you take anything for that? Can you make sure that you bring your inhalers to every session, please? Yeah. Okay. And your IBS could be worse if you're not eating the right things, if you're having too much sugar and different things like that, too much caffeine, and sometimes it's just that, isn't it? You'll eat something, it will trigger you. You could eat it next week and it doesn't trigger you. So IBS is one of those, it's quite complicated, especially if you've been tested for any bowel diseases. Have you? You have, and there's nothing shown up. Yeah. So it could just be like maybe a simple food allergy or intolerance, and that's what's causing those symptoms. Yeah, but if you can try and improve your lifestyle, then you might find that that improves as well. I'm not saying it will go, but it will help improve it. Yeah. And obviously the fitter you get, it will help your lungs and your asthma too. Obviously you won't get rid of that, but yeah. Excellent. You feeling all right? Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, you're very welcome, my lovely. Yeah, I mean, you know, I really do care about my clients, and, you know, it's one of these subjects that, you know, you've just got to be careful how you approach things, you know. I've seen many things on social media about what people should be doing and what they shouldn't be doing, and you do this, have this, do that, and every person is different and responds differently to different things. Exactly. But I just find sometimes people are offering false information or things that don't necessarily apply to everybody. You know, I mean, some people I've seen saying your health is an excuse, you know, if you've got health issues, excuse. Well, it's not. Because some people, you know, if you've got an underactive thyroid, if you've got diabetes, you know, menopause, you know, certain medications, different things like that all impact your weight. Some things put weight on, like certain medication. And, you know, it's a lot harder for certain people to lose weight. So please try to take your self away from certain things that you might see on TikTok or Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Even if some things that they say might be useful, it doesn't necessarily mean it is useful. Okay, good. I know I'm bombarding you with all sorts of information and questions, but when I think it, I've got to say it. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So do you have a target weight in mind? Okay. So is that your top end or your low end? Okay, I will check out. I know I don't concentrate too much on BMI, but it's good sometimes to have a look and see where. Okay, now, do you have any fitness progress in mind? Like, where are you wanting to get? And are you wanting to tone up? Okay, so just tone up as much as possible, but that's not your focus. Okay. Okay. That's fine. And that's perfectly fine, don't worry about that. That's good. So you just want to lower your blood pressure. Okay, so what was your blood pressure? Okay, so that is quite on the upside. Okay. Obviously, the fitter you get, your blood pressure is going to lower. Your pulse rate is going to low down, if you like. I will check your pulse and your blood pressure a little bit later. Okay, that makes sense. And obviously, I guess you do a peak flow every so often. Yeah, so hopefully as well, by getting some exercise in, you will help with your peak flow, get it a little bit more improved. All right. I'm not saying it's going to be amazing, because with asthmatics, that's not necessarily going to be the case. Yeah. Perfect. Do you take any supplements at all? Okay, so no supplements. That's fine. Right, so how are you feeling in yourself today? I like it. Good. So you're feeling positive, good and motivated. Perfect, I like that. Oh, bless you. I'm glad to hear that, so you feel comfortable. Okay, great. There we go. So I'm happy with that. So I'm guessing with your health conditions you experience a lot of pain. So that's the fibromyalgia. Okay, so you do get a lot of, that's going to help obviously make you lethargic, fatigue, and obviously we have to just be careful when we're exercising that we don't do any, damage, cause more pain, and you might find that after you've worked out you need a couple of days to rest and relax before you can go back into another kind of workout. Yeah, and you don't want to overstimulate. So I'm thinking a good 45 minutes of exercise is more than enough. And try to do 3 times a week. And a lot of the time before, people would always focus on cardio to lose weight, and there's a lot of evidence nowadays that's suggesting that actually weight training is actually good for losing weight. Alright, so I will go through a little bit of a procedure with you on what I think we should be doing together in the gym. Alright, yeah, and obviously it will be changing, we're not necessarily going to stick to the same thing, and we're going to work around and do different things. Alright, my love, but I want to do what's comfortable for you and how we can do it to make you better and you feel good. And then in time we can increase. Alright, so I'll sort your exercise plan out afterwards. Now, I don't want you to call this a diet. Get rid of that word. It doesn't exist, okay? You want to do healthy eating, healthy lifestyle, okay? And fitness for your health. Then you can say weight loss is a bonus. Happy? Good. Trust me, it's a good approach. I'm not going to give you a diet plan or anything like that at all. I don't do that, focus on that, nothing like that. I don't think it's a good way of doing it. I think we start at one place and move on to another and see how we get on, okay? Yeah, I will talk to you a little bit about what I want you to do in your nutrition. All right, so let me just write that down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to your measurements, okay? Once I've done your measurements, I will go through a bit of a fitness plan with you and some nutritional advice, and I will show you some of the supplements and things that I think you should be taking or considering at least. Does that sound good? Perfect, my love. Alright, can you just tell me, is there any areas on yourself that you don't like the most? Okay. And why is that? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Obviously the cellulite will reduce as you lose, the weight, and you'll tone up. Alright, but women are prone to cellulite anyway. It's just is what it is, isn't it? But don't worry about anything like that. I think people focus too much on that sometimes, but there's always creams and different things like that if you feel like you really want to do something. Alright, so them are the areas that you want to lose weight, tone up. Okay, that's fine, and whatever happens in the process happens. Yeah, okay, good. So I'm going to take measurements from certain areas. Okay, so around your arm, thighs, calves, then I'm going to do your tummy. So I'm going to do a cross like there, okay, there and a bit lower. So there's going to be 3 measurements on your tum. Okay, then I will just measure around your chest if that's okay. Right, is there anywhere else that you would like me to measure and monitor? Okay, that's fine then. So we'll stick to arms, thighs, calves, tummy, chest. All right, so there's three measurements on your tum. Good. So my love, what I would like you to do for this is just get down into your underwear for me, so I've got good access to your areas. I don't want to be going over clothing because obviously it's going to give misleading results. Okay, so if I leave you to get yourself ready and then I'll take your measurements. Are you ready? Perfect. So let's start with your arms. Okay. Now I will be taking measurements from both because obviously they're not going to be the same size. Okay. So let me just roll up just to make sure it's not too cold because I don't want to give you a fright. Right, am I okay to proceed? Perfect. Okay, if you can just pop your arm out for me. Thank you. Okay, that's fine. Other one. Thank you. Right, so I'm going to measure your chest now, if that's all right, my love. Okay, so that's it. Does that feel comfy? Is that flat on your back? Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to go across the centre. Does that feel comfy? Good. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to shimmer it down. Does that feel flat? Okay. Shimmer it down again. Do under. Comfortable. Excellent. That's 3 measurements from your chest. Okay, my love. So I'm going to do measurements on your tum. Okay. So I'd like you to stand normal, no sucking in, no breathing out, just as you would normally, but try to maintain a good posture. Okay, perfect. Okay, is that comfy? Perfect. Shimmer that down. Okay. Good. And finally down on your hips. Good. Okay. Now with your thighs, I'm going to wrap completely round you. Then I'm going to measure each individual thigh. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay. Right, now I'm going to go and measure your thighs. Okay. Okay, the other one. Perfect. And finally your calves. Wonderful. The other one. Perfect. So obviously when you start working out and things like that, muscle's going to get bigger as well, which would be really interesting to see that you reduce, say, the fat, but you can start to see a muscle. Okay. Good, I'm happy with all those measurements, so I know what I'm working with, and then we can compare it in a month's time. Does that sound good? Good. Now, please, if you can just go and pop yourself some clothes back on. Perfect. So, my love, now I've taken all your measurements, I'm going to discuss a fitness regime with you. So I think what I want to do to start with is a lot of weights. Okay, so obviously I'll have to take you into the gym and work out kind of what weights are right for you. We want you to be able to lift it comfortably, but we want you to get to about the 10th rep and you're struggling. All right, so we're going to be using different dumbbells. You're wanting me to work here. So we've got all sorts of different exercises that we can do with the weights, you know, different movements, and certain positions will do different muscles. Okay, so that will really work on the triceps and biceps. All right, so we're going to do all sorts of different weights. We'll come up with a certain routine. So we're going to do things like this. You're going to have 10 reps of each, and we're going to do them twice. So we're going to be doing this. We've got to do them nice and controlled, okay, not rushed or too slow. We've got to do them in a controlled manner. Then we're going to do out, hold like this, okay, out, Okay, then we can do one and then the other. All right, we're going to do up, down like so, up, down like so. Okay, then the other side. All right, then we're going to do different moves such as outwards. Okay, we're going to do out that way, yeah, down, different things like that. Okay, there's all sorts of different ones that I want you to do, and they're all perfectly fine for you to do. I want you to line the bench, and we're going to do ones like this. Okay, all sorts of ones like that, and then we can work up to higher weights or longer reps. Okay, that sounds all right. Good. I also want you to do a little bit of resistance work. So a resistant band, and I want you to pop them on your ankles, round on your calf, and I want you to lie down. Okay. Now we're going to be doing like this motion with your legs as far as you can stretch, like this motion, that motion. Okay, on your side, your legs like so, like this, one bent up. Okay, and we're going to do 10 of each, and the leg ones you'll probably struggle, and with so many weights you will start struggling. Okay, then we're going to get this special device and pop it between your thighs, and we're going to squeeze. Okay, squeeze. Then I want you to use a little bit of a resistance on my machine. So we're going to go pull the elastic bands across. Then we're going to pull them up, down, turn the hands in different position again. All right, good. Then I would like you to do a little bit of yoga. Now you might be sitting there thinking, well, what's that going to do? Well, it's great for the mind. All right, it's great to relax you. It helps you get your balance, and it helps your core. All right, and there's different things. So it helps do your stretching, you know, it makes you more flexible. And if you're actually doing things and trying, you will get quite hot and sweaty and things like that. Same with the weights. Believe it or not, you will be sweating and, you know, be feeling tired and things like that, which is really good. I want to work you but not overwork you. So we'll go through the poster and we'll try and do as many as we can do. All right, and you know, that's quite a nice enjoyable moment. Then I'll probably get you on the rower, because that's working everywhere. So we'll probably start you with 5 minutes on the rower. All right, and in time we can go up. Now I don't want to bother with a treadmill or anything like that. I feel like if you feel up to it, maybe going for a nice walk. If you've got dogs, take your dogs for a walk or something like that. Okay, yeah. And with you asthmatic, I don't want you to be doing too much running. Now maybe at some point we can go onto a bike, but I prefer a rower, if I'm really honest with you, and possibly the cross trainer. All right, we can move on to that, but the cross trainer will be tiring for you. You'd probably only manage 2 minutes roughly to start with, and then we have to build up. Okay, so does that sound like a plan in the gym? Okay, so we're going to do your weights. Obviously there's loads of other different weights we can use, and you know, we've got balls where you can lie down and different things like that. Okay, so I'm going to do your weights, rower, a bit of yoga, resistance. I want you to do some sit-ups as well. I want you to try and do 3 lots of sit-ups, so 10 3 times. Okay, good. And that is it to start with. So you've got your weights as described, rower, yoga, resistance, sit-ups, and then stretches. Now we will be able to do that in the 45 minutes. Okay, yeah, we have to keep active, but when we're doing the weights, you know, you need to stop for about 10 seconds or something like that, then go on to the move again or a different move. All right, yeah, we can't be just constantly going, and they have to be really controlled. Down, down. Okay, so we'll be doing that, down. Okay, different ones, and we've got to do controlled. Sit-ups, just do what we can. And obviously the leg work, you can do those without the resistant bands, but I find it's easier to do and you can get more of a controlled kind of stretch, and that's really good working on your leg muscles. All right. And obviously stretches are just going to cool down. All right. Basically some of the yoga poses are like your stretches. Are you happy with all that? Good. Now in time, obviously, we're going to get larger weights, maybe do a bit longer reps, different things like that. But, you know, I like to keep in bulks of 10, really. So we're going to do 10, 2 lots. We might increase 10, 3 lots when you get a bit more fitter. All right. You know, then like I said, we might add the biking or the cross trainer. You know, and doing a bit of yoga, that's going to really help strengthen you, and you're really going to help you get flexible, and, you know, it's going to help your mind, and obviously going to help you lose weight and tone up. Right, do you have any questions about your fitness program? Yeah, we do have a hula hoop, which you can have a go at that hula hoop if you want. Yeah, that's fine. So you're just going to have to swing it round. It's got weight on it. It's quite difficult to do. You've got to kind of get with it. But if you want to do maybe 10 spins to start with, okay, that's fine. Got your ball. We have a stepper as well, so we could always bring in a stepper at some point. So just step up and down. We can also do it when you're holding your weight, step, things like that. Yeah, okay. But I don't want to bombard you with too much straight away. So if we can stick to certain things, I mean, one day we might say miss out the rower and you can do the stepper instead, or miss out the rower and you can do a bit more of something else. So it's not set in stone that you're going to do that every session. You know, so maybe your first session I will focus on weights on your arms and resistance on your legs and some sit-ups and stretches. Okay. Then we'll probably bring in a bit of yoga and different things like that in different sessions. That sounds like a plan. Good. Perfect. Right. So with eating, I want you to try a little bit of fasting. Okay. That sounds scary. But what I want you to do for me is, what time do you normally have your evening meal? Okay. Right. So as I say, no eating after 6 p.m. All right. Until following morning when you can have breakfast. Or if you're feeling a bit braver, you can go until lunchtime. Right? So 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. Yeah? With no food at all. Okay. And no sugar intake. Now, obviously, you can have squash or water, things like that. It will be better to have water, but, you know, I'll let you have some squash. Some people say, well, that's not proper fasting, but you get the idea. So then you're missing out breakfast, and then you go in for lunch. 12 p.m, you're going to have some cereal. Okay. Now, about a handful and a bit, nothing too much, okay? And preferably semi-skimmed milk, but if you really can't, stick to your full fat, but try not to have too much on. Okay. Then, if you can, incorporate maybe some fruit. So maybe have a banana as well. That one should help you keep me fuller for longer. Maybe a bit of passion fruit, pomegranate, apple, kiwi, things like that. Okay, so maybe just say 1 passion fruit, a bit of pineapple or a bit of apple. You know, not too many. If you like watermelon, bring a bit of that in as well. You've got to be careful because there's still sugar in fruit, but it's better sugar. It's natural sugars which are better for us, but again in moderation. Okay, good. And there's lots of potassium in bananas, so that's really good. Okay, you're good. Then I don't want you to eat anything until your evening meal, which will be at 6 p.m. Okay, then at your evening meal, just incorporate veg or salad. Okay, and if you're feeling brave, try to skip carbs. So no potatoes, no chips, no pasta, things like that, okay? And bring in more of your whole meal. things, okay, like wholemeal pasta and rice, etc. Okay. Then obviously your meat. So you could have meat and veg, meat and salad, or you can have meat and veg and some potatoes and things like that. Do them differently. Maybe air fry them. Okay. Bit of salad, not too much dressing. If you do, make sure it's got no, make sure it's low fat or something like that. Then, if you are wanting, say, a little treat, have it after your dinner, or at least leave it half an hour and then have your dinner. Okay, have your pudding, sorry. So for example, if you fancied maybe a cream cake as a treat, yes, believe it or not, you can have a treat. All right, have that then. I'm going to say cream cake, for example, or chocolate bar, and the things you pick are all going to be different calories, okay? So bear that in mind, that you might have a chocolate, it's going to be less calories than a cream cake, so be mindful what you're picking. And say if you want some chocolate, don't eat the slab, have a row, okay? Something like that. But if you can, avoid sweets altogether. All right. Chocolate, make sure it's just like your plain chocolate. And be careful with that. Avoid biscuits if possible. Okay. Now, I want you to do this kind of fasting for a month. Okay. I want you to see how you get on for the first month with this, okay? Yeah, and in time you will find it easier and easier to continue it. You should find, for the first week you're going to be, you might be still really hungry, but then in time it's going to get easier. All right, yeah. So then obviously after a month we can assess you, see what's happening. We might be able to continue that, or you can also add in breakfast then. So have your cereal at breakfast and then maybe bringing a different meal lunchtime, and then we can discuss further down the line on things that we could be eating at lunchtime. And then do your evening meal, but then no treats, and just wait till your breakfast until we get you down and fitter. Then at some point, you can try to eat healthier, but treat yourself as and when. All right, but we don't want you to get back in the routine of pigging out and eating at the wrong times again. This is trying to help train you to not eat at the wrong hours. And after so long you've lost a bit of weight, you might think, okay, I'm watching a movie at 9 o'clock, I might have a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of popcorn or something like that, and that's it. Okay, but that's down the line. Does that sound like a plan? A scary plan? You can do it. I believe in you. Then that brings me on to supplements. Okay. Supplements are a really great addition to your diet, especially if you're not getting enough of the supplements and nutrients and minerals, vitamins from your food. All right, plus, if you are lacking things, it's good to bring them in, and then some things can help you with your, appetite and things like that. So I'm going to show you a few things that I think will be ideal for you. Okay, so a multivitamin would be great. Okay, but some of the multivitamins are all different levels. Some multivitamin don't have some vitamins in, so you have to be really careful on what you're getting. Some things, for example, don't have iron in them. You have to get them separately. So just bear that in mind. Okay, so vitamin D is always a good one to have. Most of us here in the UK do lack vitamin D. Now, if you are lacking vitamin D, you are going to be lethargic, you're going to be, fatigue, and, it helps you, believe it or not, fight infections, and it's also great to boost your metabolism. So I think this is a really good one for you to take. Okay, and this is a 4000 IU, so it's quite a strong one, and it will obviously help get you a better immune system. Okay, so you only need to take one of those a day, so that'll be good. Okay. Now, if you weren't taking a certain vitamin, I don't necessarily mean take all these together. You kind of have to try them, introduce new ones as and when, and see how you get on, because we don't want to be having too many, and then you're overloading your body and you end up having an upset stomach or something like that. Okay. So start simple, you know, and sometimes you want to overdose on things that you don't need. So bringing in maybe a vitamin B complex. This has 8 vitamins and vitamin C. So if you are taking any other supplements with vitamin C in it, please be careful because you don't want to have too much vitamin C. So in this we have vitamin C, B3, B5, B6, B1, B2, B9, B8, B12. So a lot of people get low in B12 or, you know, B9 and things like that, okay? And obviously B8 got biotin and different things that support different areas. This is obviously really good, you know, help your mucous membranes, it helps, you know, your immune system, and it helps you function better and helps you not be so fatigued and lethargic, and obviously biotin's good for your hair, nails and skin and things like that, okay? Iron's great if you're lacking iron or if you're not having it from your food. So this obviously helps form your formation of your red blood cells and hemoglobin, and it helps obviously your immune system as well. Okay. So, and that isn't usually in like vitamins and things. Now, I think omega-3, 6 and 9 is a really good one for you to take. It supports normal heart and brain function. So you can reduce the risk of blood clots, improves heart health, reduces inflammation, lowers risks of arthritis, supports mental health and different things like that, okay? Yeah, it helps your muscles and different things like that. So that's a really good one to take. All right. Now, sometimes people say are in the menopause or something like that and they need like extra things, or there's different vitamins etc that are recommended for the individual. All right, yeah, so and some of these things are actually really good to help boost your metabolism. Okay, so if you were low in your B9, you could just take folic acid. Alright, and you could take that and you don't necessarily need to take any of the other B supplements, okay? Yeah. Or if you wanted to help fatigue or you're, you know, lethargic and different things like that, and your mood, then that would be a good one to take. Yeah. Now, something like this complex here, it's got turmeric in it, glycosamine, chondroitin and black pepper. Now these are incredible things to have. Turmeric is amazing on all sorts of different levels, but things like glucosamine, things like help support your joints, and if you're getting pains and things, it would be a good thing for you to be taking, yeah, to help. Now this one is apple cider vinegar with turmeric, ginger and pepper. So obviously don't take all these together, but this is great. It can suppress your appetite. Okay, some people say, yeah, you might lose a bit of weight, but that's not proven. However, you know, if you're helping suppress your appetite a little bit, that's going to obviously have an impact. But, you know, it helps bloating, you know, it helps like indigestion and different things like that. There's a lot of health benefits in apple cider vinegar. And obviously, if it does help suppress your appetite a little bit, it might help you reduce, you know, getting those cravings. Okay. So these are something like your multivitamins, okay? So in here we've got vitamin D, so obviously you don't want to take that at the same time. Vitamin E, vitamin B12, magnesium, a few other things. But again, there are other ones that have got a lot more vitamins and minerals in them. So again, it's looking around and seeing what is appropriate for you and trying them. Or you might want a different kind of complex. You might just want individual kind of vitamins. It's got to be kind of down to you and what you want to achieve and have. You could have a probiotic, and, you know, postbiotic as well. That'll really help your tum. Okay. And then things like black maca with L-arginine and Panax ginseng zinc, they help normalise your carbohydrate metabolism. Okay, so something like that would be really good for you. And I know this is a menopause one in particular, but you know, it's got flaxseed in it, it's got sea buckthorn fruit and different things like that that are good for, you know, certain things and helping with your metabolism, etc. So my advice is to have a look into what I've told you and, you know, go from there. Yeah, okay. So that's what they look like. Okay, now these are quite a high strength. You can get lower strengths, okay. But you can check out each individual thing and it will tell you what it's good for. All right. And then you can decide what's right for you. Okay. The turmeric ones, I like that. Okay. Vitamin D, just like that. The B complex, like that. Obviously they may vary between obviously brands, they're usually pretty much the same. Iron, like so. This is what your omegas look like. Okay, evening primrose is also good for ladies in the menopause and help with fertility and different things like that. Okay, let me show you the apple cider vinegar ones. You can get gummies in these as well. The gummies you might find are better for you. So these are not gummies, and that's what they look like. Okay. And these ones I will show you. So these just look like that, but again, that's a certain brand. You won't get that with all brands. That's just unique to those. So that is all those supplements. Do you have any questions on them? Okay, right. So my advice would be is to have a look into all of them, but I recommend apple cider vinegar that you look into. The turmeric and the glucosamine. If you didn't want turmeric, you can just buy glucosamine on its own, and you know, it's up to you. I want you to look at the black maca complex and omega-3, 6 and 9, and then a multivitamin complex. Now check though, if it hasn't got certain ones in, you might be better off finding another brand or doing individual ones. Okay, so you could just take, say, folic acid, then you could take your iron and then vitamin D or something like that, or B complex, bit of vitamin C in it, and different things like that. Okay, you've got to find what works for you. But if you just have a look into different brands of multivitamins, and you'll find there's so many other supplements that you could go for that are great for fitness, your organs, your immune system, your brain function, and you know, different parts of your life and areas that you might need some help with. There is all sorts of different ingredients, different supplements out there. I would say do some research on supplements. Just literally dive straight in, look at different stuff, or if you're concerned about anything in particular in your health, just search it and see what comes up. And then when I next see you, if you do have any questions about them, I can answer them for you. All right, but I definitely think you need to start taking some, and make sure you take them with food. Then something like a protein whey would be great if you want to add protein to your workouts. So before your workout or after your workout, something like that, just to help keep burning that off for longer. And something like this creatine kind of powder. So this helps increase physical performance, okay? Something like that. Okay, so anything like that really is ideal for you. You don't have to have any of those proteins or extra supplement powders or anything like that. But if I was you, I would definitely go and have a look at types of protein shakes and powders and tablets and different things like that. Okay, I mean, Home Bargains do quite a range of things actually, or Amazon. Just have a look round. Okay, my love. So, do you have any questions about all this I've spoken about today? It's a lot, isn't it, to take in? I know. Yes, but you're in the right place and with the right person, and we're going to get that positive mindset going, and we're going to just kickstart into this journey, and we take it step by step, day by day, week by week, okay, month by month, and we just go with the flow. All right. And, you know, I've been monitoring your mental health as well. Make sure that you are doing okay mentally and also physically. All right, so you want to make sure that you are keeping on track with everything. Yes. Okay, my love. So I'm going to test your blood pressure and check your pulse now. And make sure I'm going to give you some leaflets as well in a moment for you to take away with you, just to, you know, learn about certain things. On there are certain websites I would like you to check out as well. And then there's a little bit of nutrition information, supplement information, and workout information, and then some information about the health club. Okay, yeah, I'm guessing reception gave you a card and all that's been done. Okay, wonderful, my lovely. So let's check your blood pressure. If I can just take your arm. Okay. All right, good. Now this will go very, very tight, okay? Okay, are we comfortable? Good. Right, no talking, feet nice flat on the floor, and just breathe normally and just let your arm flop. It is tight. Okay. So if I just take that off. Okay. So your pulse is quite good, not too bad, but your blood pressure is quite high. Okay. And let me check your pulse and your oxygen levels just with this little thing. Can I have your finger? Thank you. Same as last time. I'm just monitoring that for a moment. Oxygen level's a bit low. Pulse is not too bad. Okay. It's probably a little bit on the higher side for resting, but you know. And okay. I will check those in a month as well. Okay, my lovely. Right. That is everything complete. So do you have any questions for me? Are you sure? Okay. Well, you have got my number. So if you need to ask me anything, please feel free to message me, okay, and I will get back to you. Now, when do you want to start your first session? Yep. Let me just have a look. I could do before in the day or in the evening. Okay. Early or okay. I can do that day, but I've only got 2 p.m. Is that good? Okay. Okay, perfect. So that is all booked in, and what we will do is we will start our fitness journeys, okay? And if you can try and keep a diary on what you have been doing with your food and that, and I can just have a quick look through. All right, my lovely. You're very, very welcome. Now, please remember, this is a journey for a healthy lifestyle and a personal journey, okay? There's no pressure on you at all. We take it step by step. Okay, good. Now remember, remove the word diet from your head, okay? Just try to have some motivation, just a bit of willpower, and just give it your all. And I'm sure you'll be fine. You take care now. Bye-bye.